welcome to the village. Out in the front yard today, working on a little project here. Got this bed here. It's just been a problem. It kind of washes out because this has this little drainage ditch you see here. This didn't work. You can kind of see what I did here with a little hardwood cloth, wire ties. Good idea, it didn't work. It just wants to ride out. So I'm just gonna try to eliminate it, kind of level the bed out a little bit. But that's not what we're working on today, and level that out. We're gonna get rid of this and create a little wall along here with some boards. If you ever watch my channel, I love cedar, and we're gonna use some dog-eared fence boards, cedar. It's about 3/8 thick. And we're just gonna cut those, rip them down to size on the saw. And then we come in here and we're gonna dig this out. We'll tap in with a hammer and then we'll backfill them with some dirt. And I think that's gonna be enough to hold this in. It just has to go from about here to here, which is probably about 22 inches. So we just want to get those in there, and then we can backfill that against there, and I think that's just going to look good, and it's going to hold that dirt in a little bit better. So let me go ahead, and I got the saw set up. We're going to get that set up, and we're going to show you how we're going to rip down those boards. Okay, we got the saw set up here, about 2.5 inches. I'm going to rip this board down, just a little piece of board that I have here that's extra. Rip that down. We're going to go with like a couple rip down boards and then a couple standard width boards to just give it a little, break it up from just one solid size going across to give it a little different look. So we'll take this board here, we'll go ahead and rip this one down. So this way when we go back in there, we can have like sizes like this, and we'll just kind of break it up. I know it's a small area, but I think it looks better if you just break it up sidewise a little bit. So that's what we're going to come with there. Now we just kind of figure out what we want to do lengthwise, because the problem I run into over there is when they built my house, that was a washout for the concrete trucks. So down below there's a lot of rock, that was in the aggregate that was in the concrete, so I can't get down too far. So we're going to see this. I might put a little bit of a point on these to be able to drive them in the ground a little bit, maybe get around some of that rock a little bit. So we're going to check that out and see what we can do with that. So as anything goes, I changed my mind again. I think I'm just going to rip them all down and go with the shorter or the narrower boards. So I'm going to rip them all down to this 2.5 inch width. Actually, I just went ahead and just kind of put that one to see what it's going to look like. I think this will work just fine. I think I'm going to have to dig this out a little bit more to get it closer to that drain pipe over there. But I think this is going to work fine. And we can drive them in the ground. As you can see on this, I just made a simple little point on there just so I could tap it in a little easier. I think we're going to dig this out a little bit closer to here so we can get that up and tight up against this. And I think that's going to be, I'll just square them up, make sure they're, going up and down, they're straight, not leaning down in. We'll just get them straight, check it with the bolt level, and we'll get those in there. So let me go get that, and we'll come back out here and we're gonna dig that out a little. Okay, you can see we got the one there in place. And we'll just take this and come in like this. I just take the hammer. I'm gonna leave a little space in between. And we'll just tap them in there. Kind of get an idea what it's going to look like, get them squared up a little bit. We'll come back with the bullet level, like I said, and we'll just make sure they're going straight up and not leaning out too much or anything. Kind of make sure they're level across, and that's all we're going to look at. We're just going to try to just do that and just kind of work them around, just like this. Just come back around here and just kind of turn that corner. I'm not going to leave much space, probably going to leave about 1/8 of an inch in there, and we'll just work that around till we get around up here, and we'll cut them shorter. I might make them various lengths, I'm not sure, just to kind of break it up a little bit. So let me go rip down a couple more, and then we'll see what we got working here. So you got a couple of these in there. Finding out to get the spacing right with all the rocks in here is really a challenge. These are all straight. I kind of just want to make them the various heights, like I said. We'll come back and probably make this one closer to this height and just kind of give them a little, break it up a little bit. Just kind of turn them a little bit as we go and drive them in, and just kind of create, just going to go probably dig this out over this way so you can see that over here a little bit more. probably continue it after. Probably go 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 more boards. I'm just gonna create just a little wall. We'll backfill it on both sides just to create something to keep this from washing out, like I said, down into the culvert here. So yeah, so basically what I've done is just putting them in, kind of looking up, eyeing them up, see if they look straight. Try to get them that spacing like I talked about if I'm not hitting a rock like this here. As you can see, a lot of rocks, kind of like this. Concrete aggregate, that's all it is. Again, like I said, it was a washout, I guarantee it, when they were building the house. So just kind of square it up, kind of look at it. Use rubber mallets so don't break them up. Just drive it in, just take it with a bullet. Just kind of this little crappy little bullet thing. I can't find my good one. And just check it both ways to make sure we're fairly straight. And that's pretty much it. Wanted to have a little more spacing, but that's probably not going to happen just because it's just not easy with all that rock in there. Everything's pretty straight. We're good and straight this way too. So it just, I think that's going to work. Just again, like I said, we'll backfill a lot of that rock and dirt, and that'll help support this. It's not gonna, and then we'll tap it all down just to, you know, keep a little pressure on it so it doesn't want to push out. But I think that's going to work real good. I think we'll just dig this out just a little more here, and of course these boards will be shorter as we get up here. We'll work our way up the little hill here. So just kind of dig this out a little bit. I think that's kind of all we're really going to go. Right about there, so that's going to be like 1, 2 more. Might just go 2 more boards. It's pretty flat here, not too much of a slope. So let me go cut another one of these down. We'll kind of take a look at that and see how that looks. Okay, you can kind of see what we got here. I went back and backfilled it. And just again, it's just to keep the dirt from washing out of this bed. We're going to re-level this bed because it wants to wash out to this culvert here. So that's basically all it is, just something to keep that from coming down there. I might have to later on come back and do something here, but I might continue around a couple smaller boards coming around the corner. Not sure yet. That's basically what it is, just something simple, easy to do. Nothing exciting, but this bed has always been a pain. Now it's coming back and I'm going to level it out and then make it look a little more like you see this corresponding bed on this side. It doesn't have as much breakdown to the culvert on this side, so it's a little easier. This one's a lot closer to the culvert and has a lot more fall off to it. So yeah, so that's basically all we did there. And again, just using the dog-eared cedar fence boards. They're 3/8 thick, 6 inches wide, 6 foot long. We just take and rip them down to 2.5 inches on the circular saw, and then we just drive them in the ground with the mallet. And just check them with the bullet level and just make sure they look like they're out of whack. It's because the ground is not very level here, so it's deceptive. So that's basically it. So I started looking at what I got done, kind of what it looks like now. Decided what I'm going to do is I might add a couple pieces on this side, but I'm going to go ahead and add 1, 2 pieces this way, kind of turn in the corner here, just give it a little more, just looks a little unfinished. So I'm going to cut those. I'm getting the saw up there. I'm going to set that up and we're going to come back and we're going to cut 2 more pieces and add them up here and see what we think of that. So constantly changing, start looking at them, like getting ideas. So I'm thinking I might put something on that other side there, not sure yet, but let's cut these other ones and try to get these put in and see what we think of that. Okay, we cut one board down here, so I'm just going to come up and try to get it like turned a little and then just tap it in. That's going to work just fine. Yeah, I think that's going to work good. Again, I'm going to cut a little shorter board and we'll put it here, and I think we're going to call it good. Again, they're just driven into the ground with points on them, backfilled a little bit and pressed down. Again, just to keep the dirt from washing out into the culvert down here. So let me go cut another one. We'll try to put that in there and see how that looks. Okay, cut another board here. Little point on the end there. Just gonna come and turn it just a little bit and square it up. There you go. I think that's what we're gonna go with. I think we're still gonna cut one. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I might later on come back and add one there. But again, just trying to, you know, keep this from washing. I think that's gonna make it look a little better. I might just, I'm not sure if I want something there to balance that out. Again, might do it on the other side with the other corresponding bed. We're gonna see how this works, how this holds up, but I think it's gonna hold up pretty good. I'm gonna tap some of these in a little bit because it did rain a lot and they did settle a little bit. And I can always put them in a little further. Unless I had more rocks. I think it's pretty good. Again, there's an aggregate, like I said before, down there, so it limits how much you can hit them. When you start going down in there, it's going to want to push them off to the side. It makes them come out and go sideways. So I think we're going to kind of go with that. Got a little bit of spacing in there on some of them. It's tough to do, again, hitting that aggregate, but yeah, just simple. Just cut down the boards, you know, 2.5 inches. Put a little point on the end. Make sure they're square. Drive them in. Just something simple to do. Looks nice. Keeps, again, this functionality of letting the dirt wash out into the culvert is the biggest key. Again, we might see this start washing after we regrade this bed. Then it washes out, just come back and add a couple more to there. So that's what we're going to go with for now, folks. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, helps the channel. If you like the channel and what we do here, hit the subscribe button. The little bell down there, if you hit that, that'll tell you when we upload new stuff and give you a little beep telling you we got something uploaded. If you have any comments or anything, put those down below. Any ideas, any questions or something like that. We're here to learn from each other. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and say thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.